Soul Sisters. Let me hear your flow, sisters.
Hey, sister, go, sister, soul, sister, flow, sister.
Hey, my fellow queens, black goddesses, all of my peoples. Welcome to another episode of Black.Owned.Soul.Sistah podcast. Today on the show, I have a great guest with me, my sister, Historic Marie. And if you could please, sis, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Historic Marie. I am a motivational speaker, entrepreneur. I have my podcast, I Am. You can find me on Spotify, also on Anchor. You can find me on Facebook as Historic Marie. Instagram is historic_Marie 1111, and on TikTok as Marie Chosen. I'm always speaking. As Sis said, we're uplifting and we blessing people with our words. We're blessing people with consciousness every day.
Boom. Basically. And I know some of y'all may think, okay, this girl got somebody else on her podcast who has a podcast. Well, that's what the little thinkers think. And we think outside of the box. And that's the whole point, you know.
Right.
We really are trying to gather us all together so that we can help each other to the next level and stop trying to be crabs in a bucket, because it's just not getting us anywhere as a people.
Most definitely.
We both share similar journeys on actually creating the podcast and just, you know, having a platform for our voices, you know. And just as well as I've had my journey in podcasting, Historic, I would really love for you to really share with the viewers, like, because there are people who have contacted me, women, about 3 to 4 women who have contacted me and said, hey, Mika, I think it's real dope that you started your podcast, you know, just somebody being from a little small town like me where, you know, we get silenced pretty often, you know, and they're just like, yo, you know, how do I do it? And it's funny to me. And the reason why I have Historic up here, because that was me in her inbox. And I remember coming in your inbox like, yo, sis, how did you even, like, you know, break that barrier to say, like, look, forget what everybody else got to talk about. Forget what everybody else got to say, what I got about what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And so I just want you to share, like, your journey, you know, and what got you to the point of I Am podcast.
My journey has been oh so great. Truthfully, I woke up at 32 years old. I'll be 37 in May.
Woo.
What led me up to the podcast, yeah, I'll be 37. What led me to the podcast and my journey is because of the different things that we experience in life. And just like you said, the same way that you wanted the information and you like, well, how did you break that barrier? Is because I had to cross different barriers in my life in order to become the person that I am. I had to put fear aside and just go forward. Just go forward because it's so many people outside of ourselves that experience the same things that we've already overcame. And sometimes they need that little push to let them know, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to remain in the space that we've already been in, regardless of what anybody else has to say. You can do it.
Right.
It might not seem like, you know, it might happen. It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight, but you continuously do what you do and continuously speak what you have to speak and speak from your heart. And whenever you coming from your heart, there's no way around that. You know, you can't do nothing but blow. You can't do nothing but be heard because you coming from a truthful space. You coming from an honest
Facts.
space. You coming from a space of love.
Yep.
So it's all about being able to push across that very thin white line that's holding you back. The only thing that ever holds somebody back is fear anyway. Fear is only an emotion that sits in your mind. That's something that you cause within yourself whenever you tell yourself, oh, I want to do this, but maybe. No, it's not but maybe. But I am going to do it. That's why I named my podcast I Am, because I am what I create.
That is a powerful name. When I
Mm-hmm.
saw the name of your podcast, I was like, yes, 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 yes. And we were just talking about it on the last episode with Nikki. We were talking about exactly what you were saying, you know what I'm saying, speaking it. And once you
Mm-hmm.
tell yourself that you are going to overcome it and going to do it, you actually are sending that response to your DNA cells to rearrange them, to actually,
Mm-hmm.
remolecule them, to say, hey, I can do this.
Most
There
definitely.
is nothing standing in my way. But once, like you said, once you tap into the fear and you allow the fear to overcome you, then you're sending those signal waves to your cells that are saying you can't do it. As a matter of fact, it's not even saying you can't do it. They've already blocked it out because you've put in your mind you can't do
That
it.
part. Mm-hmm. And not only that, whenever you, because it's the law of attraction, always. This is how you receive everything that you're trying to manifest. It all comes from the law of attraction. Everything that you thinking and everything that you feel is automatically a frequency coming from your vibration. It comes from your being. So whenever you thinking those things, you're pushing it out into the universe automatically, instantly. A lot of us, because we are souls having a human experience, even whenever you feel whatever you're feeling, you just gotta transmute those thoughts. You shift that negative thought into something positive, and you take off from that positive thought and just keep going.
Yeah, and that's for the ones who have that fear barrier. But there are ones who are just busy. No time management. There's no time management skills. I'm still trying to master time management. We were supposed to do this thing like an hour ago. And one thing that stuck out to me that is a barrier, because it is a good thing. And AAs, oh, have been in the diaspora for a minute. I say African Americans. When African Americans, we've mastered as a whole. Now, I'm not going to say at individual people because we got a lot of work, but we've mastered as a whole of laughing at our pain. So we've I feel like as a
Right.
people, we have kind of mastered that transcendent of feeling lighter in the midst of the mess. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a good trait to have, but then it comes with, when do you do it? When can you have it? And one of the things that really stuck out, that barrier, was like, hey, I know that I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared. I have no
Right.
fear. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to do this with my
It comes
homegirls
whenever
and
you're
they can't
ready.
do it. That's what I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do it with this person and they're not ready. Or I'm trying to do it with this. And
Mm-mm.
and I had told one of my homegirls, I was like, that was one of my issues. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't even
Mm-hmm.
say an issue. It was just a learning curve because, you know, I everybody's calling is not the same. And I've
Right.
learned that although we have this big ambition to want to do something, and the first thing we think about are those people that are close to us. Okay, because we love them. We want
Mm-hmm.
them to come up and we want to see each other win. But then
Right.
the first people that are close to you are not in the same seat as you. So, you know, they have their own train that they drive and they have their own tunnel that they going through. So I've learned kind
Mm-hmm.
of not to get caught up in trying to force my agenda. Damn, that's something real because I just said that out
Most
loud.
definitely.
And I have
Mm-hmm.
tried. I've tried. I realize I shouldn't try to force my agenda on people because growing
Yeah.
up,
Not at
I've
all.
always had
Mm-hmm.
my whole point in saying all that with the whole process in the podcast is because a lot of people are set back on doing it with their friends. Everybody is podcasting now. Black people are just now getting onto it because now we're like, okay, nobody's speaking for us. Nobody's talking about us in the way that
Right.
we need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's a soul bearing process where you have a little self reflection, know what you want to do, so that when you know exactly what you want to do and where you're going, no matter who is on your path or with you, that won't even conflict with any of your time that you have, because no matter what we're doing, it's all about time.
Right. Right. Because I feel like this whenever it comes to the time thing, anything that you truly want to pursue, time is not even going to be an issue. You're going to make a way. It's the time right now. And
Mm-hmm.
here we are because this is something that you're passionate about. It's something that you really love doing. And it's something that you made time for. Even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, it's something that you're doing. And it's something that you want to do because this is your baby. You see what I'm saying? And you have a message to give to the world. You understand the importance of that. So you make space and you make time, even if it got to be something that's not of so much great importance to you, that you can push to the side and put whatever you feel like is more important and that's laid on your heart to take care of first. It's all about prioritizing whenever if it's a time management thing, because I have my schedule set up like I'm literally up from like 3 in the morning until all day long, because I'm up meditating, I'm up working out, I'm up podcasting, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on every platform that you can think of. But I'm up because I know that I need to shine my light on the world. I know that I have something that I have to give. And before I can give anything, I have to take care of myself. But just like I said, anything that you really are passionate about and that you're serious about, you'll make time for it.
Yeah. And that is the
Hmm.
the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it. That's real, because it takes the initiative. You know, even when it took the initiative of them actually like reaching out to me.
Hmm. And that's a beautiful thing because you reaching people. They are hearing you, girl. And that's amazing. And I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
Cause we have to help each other build. I'm so
Hmm.
tired of anyway,
That's right.
but even when I had contacted you or whatever and we spoke that day, I really felt a weight lifted off of me. I really did. So like
Hmm.
I was very inspired by you.
I'm so thankful.
You hell yeah,
Oh.
like just the way that you ran the show so smoothly, and just everything was just, it was just it was inspiring. And so it was just like, yo, we have to speak. Media is amplifying us in a horrible manner.
Right.
It's so horrible.
Right.
And it was a woman that looked like she was maybe a couple years older than me, and her father, which was elder man. I don't know if you ever like listen to other languages, but you know how when you hear people talk, it's like you don't know what they're saying, but you know what they're saying.
Right. Yeah, I do.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know what they
Uh-huh.
saying. So when I was, talking to them, whatever, when it came up, I was listening to some music. And that's what attracted them. The music I was listening to Yemi Alade, and then P Square came up, and Malik Berry. Now, this is me. Like, I listen to Afro beats, like, as do a lot of
Right.
Americans. I kid you not, and God, please forgive me if she did not say this. I know she didn't say exactly what I'm about to say because I don't know the language, but what I felt she said on the phone, because I was talking to her father. I mean, the father had a good conversation, but what I felt she said on the phone was, this Americans are listening to Yemi. Why are you listening to our music? Listen to your own.
Oh, wow.
And I felt that. I
Hmm.
felt that, and I heard. First off, with going to Africa twice, I don't care what language you speak. like you said, your vibrations are emanating
Most
from you.
definitely.
What you doing, how you saying, you ain't even really got to say
Mm-hmm.
much. It's emanating
Mm-hmm.
from you. She didn't know that I knew what she was saying earlier when she was like, oh, it's so cold out here, whatever. And I was like, well, if you're cold, you could go. And I responded to her, and she was like, what? She looked at me like, are you Igbo? Are you Nigerian? I'm like, I'm 40%, but no, I'm African American. I just can feel what you're saying. And like, there is a such thing as, that division between African Americans and Africans in the Caribbeans, And
Mm-hmm.
I'm so optimistic about so much because I just knew, everybody was Black and everybody wanted to be one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just
Right.
knew that was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't the case. Check this clip out.
If you was making sweet potatoes, do you put 1 cup of water or do you put 2 cups of water?
What kind of sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes, candy yams.
Candy yams? How much sweet potatoes am I making?
A pot.
Feed how many?
Cooking channel? Do you
Feed
put
how many people?
1 cup of water, 2 cup of water?
How many people are we feeding? It doesn't matter?
Nope. 1 cup of water, 2 cup
Well,
of water.
I'm born and raised African. I'm not African American, so I don't know y'all culture. But if I were to make it, I don't know, shit. 2?
Sweet potatoes, you don't put no water in it.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to pass, but
Wait, so you wanna steal? So y'all both gonna walk away? You gonna walk, okay?
Yeah. That's slave food. I don't do that, babe. I'm not a slave. I was never a slave. I don't know how slaves cook. I was never a slave, babe. I know where my grandfather came from, my great-grandfather, and where all their ass came from. Your ass don't even know.
Like that being said, how we're so deprived of our history, like we try to teach our history in schools in the US and they call it critical race theory. Oh, we can't teach our kids about this, make the white kids feel bad about themselves when they get older and depress them and da-da-da-da. Okay, but then, over in Africa, they are not even taught their history at all. So you've been staying on a continent in a country and still don't even know the history on that land. So I say that with being said that we are more closer than what we think.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact because I have percent, but I got almost 20% Congo Cameroonian in me. So like we all are one. There's no need to discriminate, and we've all been enslaved. I want to say this about this video. Although she's getting so much heat, like that girl is getting dragged from King to Timbuktu she's getting dragged.
Damn.
I mean, she's getting dragged, and it's like it's one of those things where it's like it's the brainwashing at its full effect. It's the system in its full effect at how great it's done a job on us. So I'm going to say this, and I don't care if anybody is against me, say I'm against the African American community or whatever like that, whatever. We know that the food that, our parents and stuff had to, to survive off of was the leftover foods that they gave the masters. And then they had to produce the leftover stuff that they, and sneak corn and food off the fields to even feed themselves later on. You know what I'm saying? So they had to make ends meet with what they had. And we know that. We know we know about slave food. It ain't like, it's not like, but now that an African says that it is slave food, it is wrong. Now, it is wrong with the way that she said it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wow.
It is wrong with the way. Yeah, it was very sad. But the saddest part is that the culture that she came from has the same type of comings. Like, I mean, somebody in my ancestor tree I know was over there in Cameroon, came from over there. They came from over there doing something. And a lot of African and African American Black people, a lot of Black people don't even know that the transatlantic slave trade was not the only slave trade. They think that, oh, we were in this country before the slave trade. No, you were just brought here before the popular slave trade, before the slaves started getting popular.
Right.
And so as niggas, what we do, oh, who these new
Right.
niggas coming in? Oh, we been here. We don't know y'all. That's how I feel like that dynamic came. I really do.
Yeah, it definitely does have. It has people that walks around like that every day. They could be raised in this, a suburban area, and then you have people that's coming out of the projects. Oh, we are not the same. You are still the same. You are still black at the end of the day. All of us have the same roots, and it's so crazy because my family comes from Cameroon tribe. Yeah, it's so crazy, and it's just
Wow.
like this is a part of the programming that was beat into us, and all of the things that was
Right.
instilled to us, down to the names, down to just who black people think they are, period. Just like you say, the history, period.
Right. And I'm an African American.
Mm-hmm.
Before I even stepped foot in Africa, I was called an African booty scratcher in elementary. I was called, oh, look at them African ashy feet. Like everything about me, sis,
Right.
was negative, black, whatever you could think that had black in it, that was me. And so it's like,
Because this is what was taught to the generations before us, that black is ugly. But baby, it takes the darkness, it takes that same blackness for all creation to be created.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
all beauty comes from blackness. So we have to we gotta learn to embrace our blackness and to love every fiber within yourself, because truly all is one. We all searching and looking for the same thing. We just looking for it in different ways.
yeah. And how would you feel? Because, and I too, have Cameroonian in me, like I said earlier. So, like, how do you feel like if you were to go home?
How would I feel if I was treated in that manner? Um, I feel like it would really be heartbreaking to me, but because of the space, it would hurt anybody's feelings just to see that. But when you come from a place of love and you pouring that back out, all you can do is continuously be who you are and just pour back and do the right things, because it's what we're supposed to do, you know.
Yeah.
So we got to get back to our roots. Like, you already had the experience for Africa. I'll be going soon. And, I've been making a little joke. I'm like, I'm trying to go over there and get to levitating and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes,
I want
girl.
to get really deep into everything whenever I go there. I want my experience to be something that I never forget in my life, something that I can tell my grandkids and my great grandkids, just like the dopeness about the whole situation, because now I'm home.
Right.
Now I'm
And
home.
it feels like you're home.
And whoever welcomes me, welcomes me.
It feels like it. As soon as you step off the plane, you just feel a relief.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you literally feel a relief. I always heard it. I've
Mm-hmm.
always, seen everybody talk about, but you do. You feel it. And as
That's
women,
beautiful.
we got to do better because in each country I've been in
Mm-hmm.
Africa and when I went to Mexico, the women won't speak to you,
Mm-hmm. Whoa,
but the
that's a whole
men
nother
will. They'll
podcast, girl.
acknowledge you.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Seriously.
It's just
And just
like,
like when I
that's
talk,
vicious right there. Mm-hmm.
they won't talk to you. And I don't know if it's like a cultural thing, but even when I was speaking, with the African daughter and dad I was talking about earlier, like after the girl said what she said on the phone, which I know was about me, she didn't say nothing. She sat there. She was there the whole time beside her daddy with her head down, while me and him was standing
Mm-hmm.
having a conversation. And we actually got through so much. At the end of that conversation, he literally was like, "You have inspired me to open up my heart to some African Americans."
Mm-hmm.
That man literally told me that, because I ain't gonna lie, honey. You like we said, the hood
Mm-hmm.
in the suburbs, you ain't the same people, quote unquote, but you know you the same. Just like
Mm-hmm.
the folks from up north and the folks from down south ain't
Right.
the same.
Because we are taught to be separated. We are taught to be divided. That was the whole plan the whole time. The whole plan is to keep us divided because together with unity, we powerful as hell and we unstoppable. We got to start standing together. We got to allow each other to teach each other. We got to allow each other to love each other and to understand each other, to have conversations with
Yes.
each other where we're not getting angry, but to receive it from a place of love.
Yes. Right. And I want to invite any African sister
Yes.
who is listening to this podcast. I really want to invite you on this show, and I really want to talk and hash this out, because there are a lot of African Americans who see Africa, our homeland.
Yes. And we love y'all.
We love y'all, and we'd love to see y'all come in here. It don't matter if we're culturally different. You will realize when you step foot in the
That we
USA,
just like
you're
y'all.
going to be labeled and categorized the same if you do not fit the agenda. Anybody coming to America, then
Mm-hmm.
what? Then your child is American. You can't tell your child they're not
Mm-hmm.
American, because they're going to grow up American. American is like, people see, a lot of people don't understand why white people been getting away with this Egyptian
Right.
stuff shit. Because saying you're Egyptian is just like saying you're American, and they have made it to where
Mm-hmm.
it's like that. You get what I'm saying?
And they really inspire us. Like, it's crazy. They really, really inspire us. Like, we ain't over here. Y'all over there with the natural hair. Y'all over there making y'all clothes. Y'all over there just being y'allself, like doing everything natural. And they over here trying to poison us. We really inspired by y'all. Like, we need y'all. Come on.
Thank you so much,
You
love.
welcome, girl.
Y'all can find her, reach out to my sister, her podcast, I Am Very Powerful, and reach out to her if y'all want to pop up and show up and
You are welcome.
tell her what's on your mind.
And thank you for having me, girl.
Thank you for being here. I love you. And thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in to the Boss Podcast. That is
Yes.
Black-Owned.Soul.Sistah podcast. You can catch us every Sunday at 9